In a viral clip, after she made a foul play, Griner...
Ever seen a moment so wild it completely flipped everything you thought you knew? What happens when a star athlete drops a line so bold it sets the whole internet on fire and makes fans question the very rules of the game? That's exactly what happened when basketball sensation and controversy magnate Brittney Griner said something nobody saw coming. The words hit like a spark on dry grass. Within seconds, the internet exploded. Raw, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. Total chaos followed. If you're enjoying this, do us a favor. Hit like and subscribe. Crazy fact: over 90% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. It costs nothing. Takes 2 seconds, but it means everything to this channel. Already subscribed? Awesome. Thank you for the support. Now, let's get back into it.
Rather controversial. It might be, though we don't know, trash.
And it happened right in the middle of a tense showdown with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, the same player who's been packing arenas and pulling record crowds into the WNBA spotlight. That's when the moment blew up. Griner clenched her jaw, stared her down, and said the one line that would soon shake up the entire internet. "I'm a grown man." Just 5 words. But those 5 words spread like wildfire across Instagram and X within minutes. And that's when the argument started. Lip readers zoomed in frame by frame. Algorithms pushed the clip to millions. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion, from gender identity to fair competition. And the debate just wouldn't stop.
Fucking white girl. Others have suggested it might be trash, and
suddenly, this wasn't just a throwaway joke in a locker room. It wasn't your average trash talk between rivals either. This one hit different, and it rocked the entire sports world. Then things got stranger. Fans spotted an old topless photo on Griner's account that Instagram's algorithm never flagged. That raised one big question. Why did the AI treat it like a male body? That single detail poured fuel on the fire. Soon, timelines flooded with wild theories, talk of secret identity changes, rumors of intersex conditions, whispers of testosterone treatments. What began as one viral clip had turned into a conversation nobody saw coming.
We don't know what she's mouthing, but she seems to, have a mouth on now.
Everyone wants answers. Fans, commentators, even rival players are speaking up. Did the WNBA knowingly let someone with masculine physical traits dominate a women's league? Or is this just another chapter in Griner's already wild career? One built on controversy, success, and pure boldness. It all kicked off over what should have been a routine foul call. At 6 feet 9 inches, Griner didn't just react physically. She pushed back hard mentally, too. Something about that call clearly struck a nerve. Her eyes locked onto the ref, cutting straight through the noise of the crowd. And then it happened, the line that broke the internet. "I'm a grown man." Was it just attitude in the heat of the moment? A slip of the tongue, or something buried way deeper? A confession nobody expected. Whatever it was, the clip spread like wildfire in minutes. People replayed every frame, studied every expression, convinced they caught something huge. Memes exploded everywhere. Podcasts dedicated full episodes to it. Social media couldn't stop talking. Late-night hosts jumped in with jokes almost overnight. In no time, grown man became both a meme and a movement, splitting opinions right down the middle. Some called it confidence, others called it deception. But one thing was for sure, nobody looked away. Underneath all this noise sits a much bigger, messier conversation. One about biology and fairness in sports. The truth is, human bodies don't always fit into neat little boxes. Some athletes are born intersex, naturally carrying higher testosterone. Others have unique muscle structures that blur traditional gender lines. Many trans athletes go through hormone therapy to match league rules and their own identity. But here's the twist with Griner. There's no official record, no public statement, no documented treatment, no visible sign of medical transition. Her past stays private. And that silence, it's exactly what keeps the questions alive.
Right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's...
Suddenly, an old Instagram story resurfaced, and it changed everything. The clip showed Brittney Griner completely unedited, shirtless, sitting online for over 2 years without anyone noticing. But here's the shocking part. Instagram's own AI, the same system that usually blurs or flags female nudity in seconds, did absolutely nothing.
Why?
Because the algorithm read her body as male. This wasn't just a glitch. This was a giant red flag for a sport still trying to figure out where fairness ends and inclusion begins. Right now, the WNBA has strict hormone rules for transgender athletes. But when it comes to intersex athletes, the rule book goes completely silent. The league technically has the power to demand medical checks or even block someone from playing if natural hormone levels cross a certain line. Yet, in Griner's case, nothing, no statement, no investigation, just silence. And that silence keeps getting louder by the day. Team owners, sponsors, and even fellow players are now asking the same uncomfortable questions. What if Griner was raised as a woman, but was biologically male at birth? Could that single fact shake the league's entire credibility? Another theory floating around points to a possible intersex condition, something that could naturally boost bone density or muscle mass. But the boldest theory of all suggests Griner may have secretly undergone testosterone therapy with zero public record, zero league approval, and zero fan knowledge. No matter which theory you believe, each one chips away at everything fans thought they knew about fairness and transparency in the sport. One thing is becoming impossible to ignore. The WNBA can't stay quiet forever. Fairness isn't just a nice idea in women's sports. It's the entire foundation. Fans need to believe that every win is earned, not the result of a hidden physical edge nobody disclosed. If the league allowed someone with male biological traits to compete without transparency, whether by mistake or on purpose, every record, every trophy, every feel-good story suddenly feels questionable. This isn't about one player anymore. It's about whether fans can still trust the game itself. And now the internet wants answers. Some are calling for full transparency, genetic testing, hormone panels, the whole 9 yards. Others are warning that digging too deep could cross serious ethical lines, violating privacy and opening the door to discrimination. This isn't a simple headline anymore. It's a genuine clash between respect and fairness. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's explosive rise has only added more fuel to the fire. Since she stepped onto the court, everything about the WNBA has changed. When she was sidelined with an injury, ticket prices for Indiana Fever games actually dropped. Arenas that used to sit half empty are now packed because of her star power alone. Against that backdrop, Griner's complaints about the noise level during Clark's game start looking less like genuine concern and more like resentment. It almost feels like Griner's once dominant spotlight is being drowned out by the roar now reserved for Clark. And the league can't ignore that growing tension between the old era and the new one. Then came the blunt criticism. Podcast host Patrick Bet-David didn't hold back, calling out the irony of Griner, a woman once imprisoned in Russia, freed through a major prisoner exchange, now complaining about loud crowds. He pointed to her old remark about working courtside during quiet half-empty games, using it as a symbol of just how forgotten the WNBA used to feel. But that era is over. Record ratings, massive sponsorship deals, and worldwide headlines arrived the moment Clark walked in. And instead of embracing that new energy, Griner appears to be pushing back against the very wave she once helped create. Then things took an even sharper turn. Race entered the conversation. Griner hinted that the mostly white crowd showing up for Clark's games carried racial undertones, pointing out that Black athletes have dominated this sport for years without getting anywhere near this level of attention. Her comment wasn't just commentary anymore. It was a spark that lit up deeper, long-buried issues about recognition, race, and shifting fan loyalty.
Here's the thing, though.
Jealousy in sports isn't new. Michael Jordan had entire defensive strategies built just to stop him. Serena Williams fought through decades of unfair treatment before finally earning her respect. Whenever greatness shows up, resentment tends to follow, and Clark, being the face of this new era, was always going to attract criticism. But Griner's reaction shows something deeper than simple rivalry. It reveals real tension between her own pride as a competitor and the uncomfortable spotlight she now has to share. Let's be honest, noisy arenas, trash talk, chaotic crowds, that's just part of the job in leagues like the NBA, NFL, and MLB. It's the fuel that keeps competition alive. So, when Griner suggested the fans were too loud, it came across less like concern and more like entitlement. Professional athletes get paid to perform under pressure. And fans, they pay good money to make noise. A packed, loud arena isn't disrespect. It's proof that people finally care. If Griner truly trusts her own skills, she should be letting her performance do the talking, not the crowd volume. So, what happens next for the WNBA? League officials now face an incredibly delicate balancing act, protecting fair competition while respecting player privacy. One option is mandatory hormone testing across the board, but that invites backlash, lawsuits, and accusations of policing women's bodies. The other option is a direct investigation into Griner, specifically something that might satisfy critics, but could easily spark anger among players and damage trust in leadership. Either way, this controversy is starting to cloud everything around it. Broadcasters and major sponsors are watching closely. Some see it as a ratings goldmine. Nobody can predict how this storm will affect next season's broadcasting deals or whether brands will speak up, stay silent, or walk away entirely. Behind the scenes, tension is quietly building among the athletes themselves. Some teammates are standing firmly behind Griner, insisting they never noticed anything unusual, just the result of elite training. Others privately admit they'd noticed something off, but brushed it aside as nothing major. And then there are players demanding full transparency, arguing they deserve to know if an opponent's biology crosses league limits before ever stepping onto the court with them. Slowly, the trust that once held this league together is starting to crack. Even Caitlin Clark, who had nothing to do with any of this, got pulled into the storm. Her rapid rise, record-breaking numbers, and constant headlines made her an easy target for online trolls claiming her success created all this tension. But despite carrying the weight of an entire fan base's frustration as a rookie, Clark stayed composed. Her response was short, calm, and to the point. She said she loves this game and every player in it, and hoped everyone could refocus on basketball. It was a genuine call for peace. But even her calm words got buried under the noise of social media outrage. Now media outlets everywhere are chasing the story, blending real concern with pure clickbait because controversy always drives clicks. Conspiracy theories, legal debates, and endless hashtags are colliding across timelines. Inside WNBA headquarters, panic set in fast. Emergency meetings, legal reviews, drafted statements. This isn't some random internet rumor anymore. This is a real gender verification crisis hitting the league at its most vulnerable moment. For years, the WNBA proudly promoted inclusivity. Now, that same value feels like a trap. How do you protect inclusivity off the court while guaranteeing fairness on it? That question alone could shape the league's entire future. A league at a crossroads, a rivalry turning into a firestorm, and a question nobody in women's sports expected to face this directly. Whatever happens next will shape how fans, players, and sponsors see fairness in this game for years to come. This story is far from over. And honestly, we've only scratched the surface. If this breakdown opened your eyes even a little, don't just sit on the sidelines. Speak up. Ask the hard questions. Demand real transparency. And most importantly, keep showing up for the sport you actually care about. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think the WNBA should investigate, or is this all going too far? Hit like, share this with someone who needs to see it, and stay tuned because this story is only just getting started.